BEPRO did not get the weekly candle closure that we were looking for. What does that mean for BEPRO price now? Polkamarkets has been really hot. Does it need to chill out or even correct a little bit more? Or is it going to continue flying up? And PDEX, damn, when the heck is PDEX going to fly? Hey, before we watch this video, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the primary indicators for the analysis of each of these three coins. Literally nothing that I say matters without understanding what Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to do. So if you haven't watched that first, stop this freaking video. Even returning viewers, go watch, click this link, go watch Bitcoin first. I promise you, it's going to help you. All right, so hopefully some of you actually watch the Bitcoin and Ethereum analysis first, because I promise you it's going to be really helpful, because that's the overall macro market stuff. All right, so in BEPRO, I'm going to play for you what I said in my video last time, and let's take a look here. Right, trying a 20 bag necessarily, but if there has not been one and it flies, that's when you're looking for 20 bag opportunities. So all that BEPRO needs to do is close 1 week above here, then it can be liftoff, literally. All right, so all that BEPRO needed to do, okay, is close 1 candle somewhere in this box. That is it. It did not happen last week. However, last week wasn't the greatest week for Bitcoin either, and this closed green still, right? So the chance of this week closing in this box is really high. Now, as I said in the very beginning of that snippet, the very, very beginning, because we have no closures in here, if this week truly does fly up and hits like 2 cents, 3 cents, or something really high, selling a little bit of BEPRO will allow you to use other people's money to then buy back BEPRO later and lower, and now you have more BEPRO, and you literally used other people's money who don't follow my channel and don't understand the importance of this weekly closure. So let me repeat that. If this week, this current week, flies up to 2 cents, 2.5 cents, or whatever, you know you can safely sell, because this week will come back down into this box. And if you sell high and buy back lower, the amount of tether that you got from selling BEPRO way up high will buy more BEPRO. Now, that means you literally used other people's money, probably 2 people's money. The person who bought the BEPRO way up here, because that person doesn't follow this channel, and the person who sold you BEPRO down here, getting scared out because they were somebody who bought up here too, right? You're going to literally be able to use 2 other. Now, will that happen? I don't know. Last week didn't get that much high of a wick. I would not, try to 20 bag within this box. But if BEPRO price really starts flying up, I mean, it's going to be statistically very safe. Is there a possibility that BEPRO does just fly up and barely comes back down, sticks its landing, and then the next week flies? Yeah, but it's really unlikely, right? So why would you not do something that's extremely likely to happen? All you do is take statistically likely situations and do it over and over and over and over and over, right? That's it. If you're betting $1 against somebody and you get $1, if you roll a die 1 through 4, and that person gets $1 only on 5 and 6, you can lose the first 3 things, and you paid $3, you're down $3 to begin. But you should keep playing that person like 100 times, because that person's going to run out of money, and that person's going to give you all his or her money in that situation, because the odds are with you. You just do it over and over and over and over and over when you have statistical probabilities, right? So that's what I'm saying with this 20 bag idea. However, there's not a whole lot to watch on BEPRO, except for the idea that, hey, is there strength in terms of support? Yeah, the daily 21 honestly is holding BEPRO up like a freaking pro. I mean, as long as BEPRO is staying above this, so see this yellow line, that's a daily 21, and any wick below is pretty much getting bought up. And if you see BEPRO go below the daily 21 and you have free tether and you wanted more BEPRO, what does that mean? Not financial advice. Obviously, we're talking about Pokemon cards only. But it means it's a good pickup. Not financial advice, Pokemon cards only. All right, so going out to the weekly on BEPRO, though, once a candle does close in there, I want to be very specific with this, similar to what I said with Trias if you follow those. Once it does close in there, it will be trickier to 20 bag, because the candles might just keep going up and up and up. And if you try to sell after a closure based off these weekly, it might not ever come back down, and you might actually not get more crypto based off that. So your edge would end. So on that idea, in the immediate sense, the edge of being able to sell some BEPRO if it screams up to 2 cents this week, that edge disappears once you get a closure in this box, which is a good thing though for the rest of your bags, right? So this week you have an edge to potentially 20 bag. Should BEPRO get above this box, get closer to 2.5 cents or whatever, right? And I'm not going to give you exact levels because that's saved for my Patreon, Discord, private gated community. If you want to check that out, links in the description section near the top. And so that's what we got. So last thing, if this week flies, good 20 bag opportunity, get more crypto with other people's money. After this week closes down here in the spot or up here in this box, the next 2 weeks might not give you great opportunities to sell because things might get hot really fast and BEPRO literally might race up past it very likely will race up past 3 cents within 2 weeks after that. I'm telling you, it will probably only take 2 to 3 weeks to hit 3 pennies, to hit 3 cents once you get a candle closure here. Therefore, trying to 20 bag stuff to the upside, it's statistically maybe against you in terms of getting more crypto with that, unless you're trading something like the 30-minute chart, 1 hour chart. But my channel does not cater to folks necessarily trading the daily charts like that. All right, so Polka markets, let's dive into it. Flip your phones or get flipped off. What does that mean? It means literally take your phone, flip it vertically, and hit the like button. What's going to help me out even more if you can leave me a quick comment, even if it's literally a period. Just don't leave the tampon behind. Leave a period, emoji poop, LOL, you suck, whatever you got to do. And for new viewers, if you like what you see, hit subscribe, hit the bell. Why should you hit the bell? Because this can be time sensitive. And if I'm going to help walk you through a more profitable crypto journey, help me help you. Hit that bell. All right. Well, are you ready? Did you hit it? Damn it, you didn't hit it. You also get flipped off. Dang you. All right, let's jump back in. All right, so Polk. I'm drawing blue dots on my chart instead of making it big. All right. Polk raced up to this line, weekly horizontal, from a previous horizontal. It still has correction due in it. Now, will this week close red in regard to Bitcoin and Ethereum racing up? Probably not. So on a weekly candle structure, this backfill that's almost getting half of this weekly candle, if you are looking to buy, even though I personally don't chase green candles, I would have been preferred to be into this. Okay. So I'm not saying this is a great buy. But if you're somebody who's already deeply in profit, looking, for a small pickup more, use some tether because you really like Polk, whatever, those types of people, not somebody who's looking to get into Polk for the first time, I don't think this is a good buy. I would just find something else that's ready to do this. Like the next coin we're going to look at, PDEX, because it's ready to break out sooner than freaking later. But for people already in profit looking to buy more, this is probably just a backfill before this turns green. And this week, honestly, I would say it has a strong chance of squeaking out a weekly closure above $2.15. I think this is a good backfill. And if somebody is in profit specifically, already owns this, wants a tiny bit more, this could be a good pickup. This might be as low as it goes the entire week. This is a weekly backfill in a macro bullish scenario with Bitcoin and Ethereum, making all-time highs, all this kind of stuff, doing really bullish stuff. It's probably going to turn around. It's probably going to keep going. Just like MTV did, right? It's the same chart MTV had. Exactly. So it's probably going to be great. Now, if you want to go to MTV and look at that, even though this is not an MTV analysis video, I totally get that. However, it's important because remember, this is why BEPRO fans need to watch the Polk assessment, and Polk fans need to watch both the BEPRO and the PDEX and so on and so forth, because all crypto moves the same. You need to watch all three of these. I totally promise you. So MTV. So look at the W, exactly like Polk. Polk's about here, right after. So one big green weekly candle, just like Polk had. Now let's zoom in. What did the next week do? It backfilled, started the week red. Okay, so Polk's week is still red. Watch. 17% red, deep. All right. Okay, watch this now. Let's go to Polk. So all crypto moves the same way. It's just a question of when it moves that way, right? And again, smaller caps on a larger percentage basis, but similar, similar caps will move the same and on the same percentage basis. All right, if I could use my brain and find Polk, that would be fantastic. Okay, so remember 17% after that big weekly candle on MTV. Okay, remember that? All right, so measuring from the candle closure of last week. Oh, 17% also. Crypto moves the same way, folks. I'm freaking telling you. It's just they don't always move the same way at the exact same time. Like one might move, so Trias move, MTV might move one way during 2 months, and then 5 months later, Polk moves exactly like it, which is exactly what's happening. I'm telling you, literally almost to the percentage you just, and I didn't plan that. I rarely plan much in my videos. I do plan a little bit more now. Now that I'm trying to make my YouTube videos a lot nicer and fancier, I do try to know what I'm going to talk about. But I didn't plan that exact percentage, but it was almost literally to the 1%, right? 16.7 versus 17.1. I mean, it's moved same. So yeah, I would guess that this weekly closes above that line, above $2.13. I don't think it'll close much above this line. And it might actually if you zoomed into the day here, it might actually have red, like come up, have a red day, come up, have a red day, and then Sunday squeak it out at the last minute. It could go down to the wire. But I would expect a closure just above this line. And if this week does not close above that line, then it might break structure with what MTV did the week after, might be red. All right. If it can't close a candle, the weekly candle above $2.06 roughly, above these wicks here, the week after that might be red, but I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt right now. It'll probably go close above that line, and we're going to move on to PDEX, which is the Incredible Hulk. So PDEX, the way it's moving is very similar to how Polk will likely get ready to move once it's slowing down and approaches this. So if you're a Polk fan and you don't give two shits about PDEX, well, what I'm about to say about PDEX will apply to Polk rather soon. Once it gets here, it'll probably be among the top 5 probabilities. So stay tuned. Let's get it. Oh, Incredible Hulk and cryogenics. What are you doing, bro? So we already know what's happening on the weekly scale, right? I'm talking about the same freaking lines on this asset for how long now? I mean, since I've covered it, right? Need a weekly closure. Oh yeah, but there's one thing to note there. The weekly closure might be tricky. In my last video, I did cover that. So if you are a PDEX fan and you did not watch my last video, I go into full detail why this play might be tricky. And when you have that sort of thing happen on BEPRO and or Polk, the same exact thing applies. So if you didn't see that portion of the video, I have tags. Just go to the PDEX portion of my last BEPRO and PDEX and Polk video and watch that section where I describe that, okay? Because it actually could get tricky, and it's going to make entrances trickier, or even sell points trickier. The confidence with which you sell, with the confidence that you'll be able to buy back lower, it'll make it difficult if there's a weekly closure between these two lines specifically. But if it doesn't close closes below or above, then the edge is still with you regardless. But a closure between it'll make selling pretty difficult. Specifically in regards to, if I sell here, is there a strong chance that I can buy back lower? That question, it'll make it tricky. Okay. But let's zoom into the smaller time frame, since I've been talking about the same damn thing. Now, this is actually really healthy. So you see this green. So you see how these two lines form the top of the range. This thick gray line forms the bottom of the range. This dotted green line is sort of like the point of control of the range, roughly. So it's very common when you go from the bottom of the range of any asset, doesn't matter if it's XRP, Dash, Bitcoin, whatever, it really doesn't matter. When you have a very established range, or even a moderately established range, you race from the bottom to the top. It's an extremely high percentage, which is why I got fooled on Polk. Polk did not do this. I had buyback orders down, even front running the point of control, but Polk only went like this and blasted off. I didn't get more crypto. I was going to, had it gone just like 5% lower, I would add much more crypto because I sold a wick above the range. my buy targets didn't hit and it blasted off. However, the edge was with me, so I took the trade, right? So that's like, you know, the rolling the dice example. It's just the person who only gets, I only have to pay if the 5 or 6 is rolled, but 1 through 4 I get paid. It's like that person beat me once, right? But the next time it happens, I will still take that same trade, right? So same thing here. Selling the top of the range, buying back roughly the point of control, maybe scattering some limit buys. It looks ready to go. It's probably going to bounce from here, consolidate for a couple days, and blast out. I think this looks ready, assuming price can work its way back up closer to 25 bucks. It likely won't come back all the way down to the point of control. Rather, it could hit what you might call a 3/4 line, which is between the top end and the point of control up high, something like this. It might go above this line, hit the top of the range, use this as support, consolidate, then bust out. So kind of like your 3/4 line there. And look at how much price action this gets right. Look. So it's actually a little too high. But that previous resistance of those circled areas is going to be future support once it gets above it. Once it gets above it, right? So now that the point of control is used as support, the next time it gets above, it's probably going to use a higher level of support. What level is that? The previous obvious resistance right there. Okay. So, I mean, how much longer could this take? Well, just drawing this, it could be late November. It could be November 20th. But whenever this blows, it's going to be it looks like it's going to be a pretty intense explosion, especially if it has any stimulus related to news, like, you know, Kusama Polkadot news within the ecosystem. At this point, even now, if that were released today and it blew up, it would probably be pretty explosive because it's consolidated its whole freaking life, right? It's the Hulk in cryogenics. So if you're a fan of PDEX and you get a whiff of Twitter news or something significant, that would probably be the like a spark next to gasoline fumes. It would probably create a pretty big explosion. New viewers, these 2 videos popping up can drastically change the level of profitability that you experience throughout your crypto journey. You should watch them. They are part of the 3 most important videos I have ever made. Flip your phones or get flipped off. Hit that like button. Leave me a comment, even if it's just LOL, you suck or quack, or you just yell Trias. You're a Trias fan on here. Yell out your favorite coin. Let me know because it's going to help me continue making more videos for you. And if you are new, hit subscribe, hit the bell. It's going to help me continue walking you through a more profitable crypto journey in a time-sensitive environment. Y'all just got timified.